Hello, how can I help you?
My wife sent me to drop her dog off for grooming. She wants the hair left 4 inches long.
Your dog's hair may have been 4 inches long at one point. At the moment it is a 2-inch thick mat. Your only option is to shave the dog down.
You are a dog groomer. Can't you brush the dog out? My wife will be angry if you don't leave the dog's hair long.
Oh my God. Sir, have you smelled your dog? He smells like death. I think he has a skin infection.
If he has a skin infection, can you leave the hair long?
On second thought, your dog is so matted and he smells so bad, I think if I shave him down his skin will come off with the hair. Your dog needs to go to the vet.
Can the vet leave the hair long?
Probably not, sir. He needs special treatment because your lack of care has caused a skin infection and severe matting.
My wife is a dog expert. She says you can brush him out.
I am not going to touch your dog with a 10-foot pole. Leave my salon before I call animal control.
Can animal control leave the hair long?
Please leave now. No one can leave your dog's hair long. Leave now.
I have heard some dog groomers are terrible with people and wonderful with dogs. You are obviously one of those people.
Yes, I am a terrible person. You are obviously a sissy lollapussy whip bitch. Leave my salon now. I am calling animal control and giving them your information. Do not come back.
I'm going to a different groomer. Someone will leave his hair long. My wife wants his hair left long. She is a dog expert.
Hello, as a dog groomer I deal with situations like this one on a daily basis. While it is very funny, it is also very sad for the dog. If you have a fluffy dog, it needs to be brushed out for a minimum of 10 minutes daily. Matting is extremely painful and can cause limb death, skin death and skin infections. Please brush out your dog every day.
Look right down in a crowded hall. You see there's a beauty standing. Is she really everywhere? Well, a reflection. One always calls out to you. The other shy and quiet. Could there be 2 different girls who look the same at Sweet Valley, Sweet Valley High, Sweet Valley, Sweet Valley, Sweet Valley High, Sweet Valley, Sweet Valley, Sweet Valley High, Sweet Valley, Sweet Valley.
Hello, I'm Mrs. PETA here with my 2 dogs to be groomed.
Hello, Mrs. PETA. We thought you weren't coming in. Do you realize that you are an hour late?
Yes. I decided to sleep in this morning. 9 o'clock is too early to get here for me.
If you know you are not a morning person, perhaps when you are setting up appointments you should make them for later in the day. By showing up late, you will push me to be late for all the rest of the clients today.
So, I don't understand how his is a problem. I'm here now.
Yes. You are here now. I wish you had been here an hour ago like you said you'd be. I sat on my ass with nothing to do because of your tardiness. Had I known that you would show up at 10 o'clock I could have given my 9 o'clock spot to someone else. Now I will be working at least an hour later than I had planned tonight. I have a family at home that I like to spend time with, and when I am forced to work late it cuts into my family time.
So, I don't understand how this is a problem. I'm here now.
Well, let's just talk about what you want on your dogs.
I would like my Westie to look like the dog on the Caesar commercials.
Well, he looks pretty overgrown. How long has it been since he's been groomed?
Oh, it hasn't been that long. He was just groomed last year.
Well, Mrs. PETA, this type of dog should be groomed once every 8 weeks. And if you want him to look like the dog in those commercials, he will have to be groomed even more often. The dog in those commercials is a show dog. His coat is maintained daily and he is hand-stripped rather than clippered. A hand strip is a grooming technique that pulls a few dead hairs from a dog's coat at a time to get the right length for the coat rather than cutting the coat to get it the right length. It takes significantly more time to do than clipping.
So, I don't understand how this is a problem. That is how I want him to look.
We can achieve that look over time for you, but you must be willing to come in at least once a month and pay the extra fee for hand stripping.
Oh no. I cannot bring him in more often. He does not like to be groomed, and I will not pay anything extra. Your grooming services are too expensive to begin with. My last groomer only charged me $20.
Well, Mrs. PETA, if you are not willing to put in the work and pay me fairly for the time I must put in on your dog, then it will have to be a shave down today. You mentioned your dog doesn't like being groomed? Why do you think this?
He never wants to come into a grooming shop. And he gets shaved every time. Groomers have said that they have tried to brush him out, but they always end up shaving him. He looks stupid, so we make fun of him. For days afterwards all he does is hide. It is sad.
Well, Mrs. PETA, have you thought that maybe he doesn't like being groomed because he is not used to the experience? Dogs are creatures that like routine and like to know what to expect. When you don't allow them to experience a situation such as grooming often enough, they will tend to be nervous. In addition, you always bring him in as a matted mess and expect miracles. His previous groomers have tried to demat him, which can be painful. When they give up and have to shave him, you think he is ugly, so you make fun of him. Your dog does not know what he looks like. All he knows is that he is getting laughed at and pointed at for some reason, and that is what makes him hide. I agree with you, though. It is sad. It is sad you are such a moron. And if you were happy with the rate the cheaper groomer was charging you, why are you here now?
I'm coming here because she abused my dog.
Why do you think this?
Because every time I went into her shop he would shake and tremble. He was afraid of her.
Well, Mrs. PETA, he is shaking now and I can see you patting him, cuddling him and talking softly to him. Did you do this at the other shop?
Yes. He had to have been beaten by a groomer to act like this.
Mrs. PETA, try to wrap your pea-sized brain around this concept. When your dog shakes and you pet him and comfort him, it sends a message to him that you approve of his behavior. If you ignored his shaking, eventually the behavior would stop. By giving a dog attention when he is exhibiting a behavior causes the behavior to be reinforced. It has nothing to do with his feelings about the groomer.
No. Even though you are a professional and work with dogs every day for the past decade, what you say makes no sense. This is the first dog I have owned, and I know the way he is acting is because he has been beaten. He is very sensitive. He was a rescue. Do you use muzzles?
Why do you ask?
His last groomer used muzzles on him, and I don't want a muzzle to be used, because it is mean.
Let me get this straight. You neglect your dog and allow him to get filthy for an entire year at a time. You do not socialize him to give him confidence and self-esteem, and you then want a stranger to rip his hair out because you don't want him to be shaved, and you think a tool meant for the dog and groomer's safety is mean.
Yes.
You have got to be kidding me. Were your parents also brother and sister perhaps? Okay, let's talk about your other dog. What sort of mix is she?
Oh, she is not a mix at all. She is a purebred golden doodle.
Mrs. Peta, you realize that a golden doodle is a mix between a golden retriever and a poodle, yes?
Yes. Her mother was a poodle and her father was a golden.
Okay, do you realize that a mixed breed or mutt means that a dog has a mother that is one breed and a father that is a different breed?
Yes.
Then how can you think that your golden doodle mutt is a purebred dog?
That's what the breeder told me, and she even has papers. Besides, I paid $2,000 for her, so she must be a purebred.
Okay, so if you believe everything the breeder told you when buying this mutt, I have to tell you that I have a magical unicorn dog that shoots Skittles for sale. It is really just a greyhound with a flagpole glued to his head that I painted rainbow colors, but you are such a moron that you will obviously believe anything, so I will sell him to you for just $5,000. How would you like this fine specimen of her breed to be groomed?
I would like her to be groomed to breed standard. This breed of dog is supposed to look long and messy, so that is what I want. I printed off instructions off the internet telling you how to do it, because all the golden doodle owners I have talked to have said that groomers don't know how to groom this dog.
Mrs. Peta, I appreciate you bringing in a picture of what you want. The instructions are not necessary. I have been grooming 12 years and am a national certified dog groomer. I know at least 100 different breed standards by heart. But let us ignore the fact that you have a mutt for a minute. Your dog looks very matted. When was the last time she was groomed?
Oh, this is her first time ever being groomed.
How old is she?
She is a year and a half old.
Why would you have waited this long to have her groomed?
Because the breeder told me it would ruin her coat if I had her groomed before she was a year old.
I see. Did your breeder also tell you that elves would magically come out of her ass to brush her every night?
No. He also said that I shouldn't need to brush her because a golden doodle's coat is low maintenance.
Mrs. Peta, were you dropped on your head when you were an infant? Or perhaps you work at a place that is filled with toxic chemical fumes all day. Why would you be so stupid to think that a dog whose mother is a poodle, a breed that requires monthly grooming, and whose father is a golden, a breed that has a thick double coat that requires grooming every other month, would require minimal grooming and no brushing?
Because that is what the breeder told me.
Well, Mrs. Peta, because of your colossal stupidity and lack of common sense, both your dogs will have to be shaved today, because I am not putting them through torture because you happen to be the most moronic person on the face of the planet.
Oh no. I will not allow that. I do not want them to be shaved. That is what their last groomer did. She was lazy. I guess all groomers are just lazy.
No, Mrs. Peta. Groomers try very hard to give each owner what they want, but it is very hard to do when the owner is a half-wit with unrealistic expectations. Your dogs will have to be shaved so we can start over again.
Well then, I will tell you it is okay for you to shave them, just because I want to leave now, so I can go to the mall and buy a coach person some new shoes. But then when I come to pick them up and see that they are in fact shaved, I will throw a hissy fit and refuse to pay you. I will also threaten to sue you, because you gave my dog such a bad haircut. I will badmouth you to all my friends, and I have such an inflated sense of self-worth that I will actually believe that anything I do will damage your business.
Good morning. Thanks for taking my call. Are you the hospitalist taking new admissions from the ER?
It's 2 in the morning. I have been a hospitalist for 14 years. There are no other hospitalists to call.
Are you the hospitalist taking new admissions from the ER?
Yes.
I think I have a patient for you to admit. You need to come down here right away. I think it is an emergency.
Okay. That sounds scary. I am in the middle of placing a central line in the intensive care unit. Can you tell me what the problem is?
I'm not sure, but I think they need admitted to the hospital. I think it is an emergency.
Can you tell me something about the patient?
They are in the emergency room. I think they need to be admitted.
I am busy stabilizing and resuscitating and intubating my 98-year-old direct nursing home admit with end-stage Alzheimer's. It will be a while before I can come down to the emergency room. Is your patient stable?
They are down here in the emergency room. I do not know what is wrong with your patient, but I think they need to be admitted. Can you come quickly?
Can you hold on for 1 second? I have an outside call. I am going to have to hang up on you. I am in the middle of inserting a central line and giving verbal orders to the nurse who requested a stat hospitalist consult on her overnight cataract with a blood pressure of 122/83. She is concerned about the blood pressure.
You sound busy. There are no patients in the emergency room tonight, except for your patient. I think.
It is going to be a while. I also have to call my registrar to arrange for a direct transfer from our local critical access hospital. I had an LPN to physician call asking me to accept an uninsured 28-year-old heroin addict with fibromyalgia and chronic abdominal pain. I have been asked to admit the patient for acute exacerbation of her fibromyalgia.
Your patient is in the emergency room. I think you need to come down here right away and admit them to the hospital. They are the only patient in the emergency room tonight. I do not know what is wrong with them, but I think it is an emergency. They need to be admitted.
I am busy. Can you stabilize the patient until I get there? I have just received another call from the nurses station on the orthopedic floor. Their patient has not pooped in 3 hours and they are asking if I can come up and digitally rectalize the patient. They are also concerned about the low urine output in a 112-year-old dialysis patient who fell and broke her hip while dancing. They told the great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter sleeping in the room I would be there shortly to answer all her questions. Can you tell me anything about your patient in the emergency room?
Your patient is sick, and I do not know what is wrong with them. But I think they need to be admitted to the hospital. I'm busy Facebooking, and do not have time to evaluate your patient. My nurses tell me the patient looks sick. I can see them from my desk. I agree. They look sick. I think they are too sick for physical exam. You need to come down right away and admit your patient to the hospital.
Hold on. I have just been paged to the post-op recovery room. My 99-year-old end-stage heart failure patient just had a 7.5 vessel bypass with a minimally invasive mitral valve replacement surgery 2 hours ago. They are in recovery bleeding out of their chest and have gone into atrial fibrillation. The charge nurse has called and requested my bedside evaluation to fix it. The surgeon has gone home, and the cardiologist is sleeping. They are also concerned about low urine output. I do not know if I will be able to get down to the emergency room soon. Can you tell me anything about your patient?
My nurses now tell me your patient down here is too sick for history and physical examination. I have not ordered any lab or x-ray. Would you like to talk with the ER nurse and give some admission orders on your patient? Your patient looks sick. I think you need to come down here right away. I think they need to be admitted to the hospital.
Could you please order an alcohol level on your patient and call me when it is back?
Why would I need to order an alcohol level on your patient? They have been here 242 times this year with alcohol intoxication. The nurses tell me he smells like a strawberry margarita. I'm uncertain what that means. You need to come down here right away. It could be a zebra. I do not know what's wrong with them. Hold on 1 second, I have to update my Facebook profile to indicate it I'm working with the B-Team hospitalist tonight. Oh yeah. I forgot to tell you, a 104-year-old nursing home patient just rolled in by squad. The medics tell me she has insomnia. I think I will have another admission for you.